Hi everyone, it's Miss Chris from Herrick District Library here with Toddler Storytime. Yay! So to start off our story time today, we're going to do our feel-good chant. This is a chant that we do together so that we have a good day. So we're going to do some motions. I'll show you the motions first before we do it. So it starts out with I am great. That means you get your arms way out here. The next motion is I am smart, so that's where you're tapping your head there. And then it goes I am strong, so you want to be flexing your muscles there. The next one is I am loved, and that's where you give yourself a hug. And then the last part is where we go, today's going to be an awesome day. And that's after we say that, then we jump up in the air and go, woohoo! All right, so that is our feel-good chant. Let's do that together. Here we go, everybody. Let's get our arms up. I am great. I am smart. I am strong. I am loved. Today is going to be an awesome day. Woohoo! Good job, everybody, on our feel-good chant. Nice job. All right, next thing we're going to do is our opening song of We Clap and Sing Hello, except today, instead of clapping and singing hello, we're going to jump and sing hello. So you guys can jump around while we're singing our song. All right, here we go, everybody. We're going to jump and sing hello. We jump and sing hello. We jump and sing hello. With our friends at story time, we jump and sing hello. Good jumping this morning. Good job, everybody. Alrighty, now that we have jumped and said hello, it's time to sing a song with some friends. I have brought some friends here. Let's see. What do these guys look like? Let me turn them around this way so you can see the front of them. Let's see. These look like these are little animals that you might find by some water. There are 5 of them. Let's count them. 1, that's number 5. Haha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 of them. All right, let me give you another clue about what kind of friends these are. Let's see. They like to do a lot of jumping, just like we just jumped. And they make a sound that goes ribbit, ribbit. That's right, these are frogs. So next we're going to sing our 5 green and speckled frog song. Let's see, we're going to start down here. See, this one's got a number 1. So we'll start right there with little frog number 1. Here we go. 5 green and speckled frogs sitting on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool, woo! Where it was nice and cool. Now there are 4 green speckled frogs. All right, let's count to make sure there are 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right, there are 4 left on our log. Here we go. We're going to sing again. 4 green and speckled frogs sitting on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool, woo! Where it was nice and cool. Now there are 3 green speckled frogs. Let's double check. Let's count. 1, 2, 3. That's right. All right, let's keep going with our song. Here we go. 3 green and speckled frogs sitting on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool. Woo! That one did a backflip. Where it was nice and cool. Now there are 2 green speckled frogs. All right, let's count our frogs. 1, 2. All right, let's keep singing. Here we go. 2 green and speckled frogs sitting on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. One jumped into the pool. Where it was nice and cool. Now there is 1 green speckled frog. Let's see. Let's count. Just 1. right there. Here we go. One green and speckled frog sitting on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are no green speckled frogs. See, there's our log. No frogs on our log. Good job singing the 5 green and speckled frog song, everybody. All right, everybody. The next thing we're going to do is a scarf song. I have my scarf here. Now I know at home you may not have a scarf, so there are other things that you might possibly use instead of a scarf. You might want to use some Kleenex. You could wave your scarf up and down, and they're Kleenex. You could wave a sock, a dish towel. If you have a real scarf left over from winter, you could wave that. Whatever you like to choose to wave. It just needs to wave in the air, just like this. So this would be a good time to hit pause for a second. And then, once you have your scarf, hit play, and we'll keep going. All right, everybody, now that we have our scarf, we're going to sing our song. It is to the tune of the Wheels on the Bus, and it is called Wave Your Scarf. So the first verse we're going to do is going to be where we wave our scarf up and down. The next verse we're going to do is fast and slow. So when we wave our scarf fast, it'll be like that, and then slow. And then the last verse will be we're going to wave our scarf around and around. There are 2 ways you could do this, whichever way you like. You could wave it around like this in a circle, or you could wave it like this, whichever you like. Alrighty, it's time to sing our song. The first verse is we're going to wave our scarf up and down. Here we go. Wave your scarf up and down, up and down, up and down. Wave your scarf up and down, wave your scarf. Good job on the first verse. All right, the next verse is going to be we're going to wave our scarf fast and slow. So we might slow it down just a hair so we can do it all together. Here we go. Wave your scarf fast and slow, fast and slow, fast and slow. Wave your scarf fast and slow, wave your scarf. Good job on the second verse. Good job. All right, our last verse is around and round. And like I said, there are 2 ways you can do it. At least 2 ways. If you find another way, that's awesome too. So we can either go around like this or around like that. I think I'm going to go around like this. All right, everybody, get your scarf ready. Here we go. Wave your scarf around and round, round and round, round and round. Wave your scarf round and round, wave your scarf. Good job on the Wave Your Scarf song, everybody. Nice job. Alrighty, next we're going to do something with our flannel board. I haven't done a flannel board thing in a while. So it is time to talk about the weather. All right, are you ready to talk about the weather? Me too. I'm ready to talk about the weather too. I brought some shapes that go with the weather, and we can sing the weather song. And this is a great opportunity at home to talk about the weather with your grown-up toddlers. So let's see. We have some symbols up here. First thing we have is this guy. That is the symbol for the wind. This is the wind coming out here, these little white guys. We have some. These things are puffy, and they're in the sky. What are those? That's right, those are clouds. Good job. This one, let's see, we have little blue things coming out of our cloud and a little bit of lightning. Do you know what this is? That's right, that's our storm. We're going to call it rain. And you might know this happy guy. This guy is yellow up in the sky. That's right, that's the sun and something we don't ordinarily get this time of year. It's cold. It comes out of the sky. Do you know what that is? It's our snowflake. That's right. All right, let's sing our weather song together, everybody. Here we go. What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather, everyone? Is it windy? Is it cloudy? Is it raining? Is there sun? So let's see. Usually at other times of the year, you would put in a verse for the snowflake instead of the rain cloud. But we live in Michigan. You just never know what the weather's going to be. So anyway, that is the weather song. It is a great way of sparking conversation with your toddler and it helps them to be more observant of what's going on around them. Good job, everybody. Well, as long as we have our flannel board out, let's play a flannel game. Let's see here. So I have some pails up here. There's a snail hiding underneath one of them, and it's our job to find it. Let's see. Let's count how many pails that we have first. Let's start up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job, everybody. Good counting. Alrighty, now we have to talk about what color all of these pails are. So we'll start up here again. Does anybody know what color this one is? That's right, that one's purple. How about this one? That's right, that one is green. How about this pail right here? That's right, that one's red. All right, we're going to start down here again. How about this one? Which color is this? That's right, that's blue. You guys are good. You know your colors. How about this guy right here in the middle? That's right, that one's orange. And one last pail right here. That's right, that one is yellow. Alrighty. So we've talked about colors and we've counted our pails. It's time to look for the snail. So there's a little chant that we do with this. And we clap along with it. It's little snail, are you in the? We pick a colored pail. And then we count to 3 and see if our snail is underneath there. Awesome! Are you guys ready? What color do you want to start with? Let's start with the blue one right there. All right. We're going to see if our snail is under the blue pail. Here we go. Little snail, are you in the blue pail? All righty, let's count to 3 and see if our snail is there. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Is there a snail there? No snail there. Okay, that means we have to keep looking. I'm going to put our blue pail down. Let's look under another one. Let's see. Oh, how about the green one? We'll check the green pail this time. Here we go. Little snail, are you in the green pail? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, is there a snail there? That's where the pail was. Oh, no snail. Okay, we have to keep looking. Our snail is pretty tricky today. Let's see here. Let's try the yellow pail. That one sounds like a good one. All right, here we go. Little snail, are you in the yellow pail? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, is there a snail there? Our pail was right there. No snail. Uh-oh. All right, let's check one more. What colors do we have left? Let's see. We have the purple one. We have the red one. And we have the orange one. Let's try the red one. All right, here we go, everyone. Little snail, are you in the red pail? Here we go. Let's count. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look, there's our snail. Our snail is right there. Oh, we found it. I'm going to put it right up by the camera so you can see. There's our snail. Our snail was under the red pail. Good job, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause. I'm going to pause real quick, and we're going to come so I can move my flannel board, and then we'll come back with our Daniel Tiger calm breathing. All right, and we're back. With all that activity we just did, I think it's time for a calm breath with Daniel Tiger. It's our Daniel Tiger squeeze, everyone. So this is the only emotion that we do for this song. Here we go, everybody. Give a squeeze, nice and slow. Take a deep breath and let it go. Let's do it one more time. All right, are you ready? Get your squeeze ready. Here we go. Give a squeeze, nice and slow. Take a deep breath and let it go. Good job, everybody. Alrighty, it is now time for our weekly early literacy tip. And we are going to use our early literacy calendar. This is the PLA calendar. The PLA stands for Public Library Association. Each day of the month, and this is our July calendar, each day of the month has a really cool thing that you can do together with your toddler. So let's see. So I've been making it a habit for story time to pick one off of here and highlight it. So for the week that we are on, I have chosen to highlight reading. So let me get the book that I'd like to show you. So for highlighting reading, when you're reading together, the literacy tip is make sure that you talk about the title. The title is up here. So the title of this book is called Let's Go Froggy. And it's always important to tell your toddler what the name of the author is, which is down here, Jonathan London. And if you want extra bonus points, you can tell them who the illustrator is too. Sometimes the illustrator is not the author. So for this one, the illustrator is Frank Remkowitz. These guys are the team that do all of the Froggy books. So that is my early literacy tip for this week. Good job, everybody. Alrighty, it is now time to do our closing rhyme of Tickle the Clouds. Let's see, when we're tickling the clouds, they're way up here, way up here. All right, here we go. We're going to start there. Tickle the clouds. Now tickle your toes way down here by the floor. Now turn around and tickle your nose. Reach down low, way down here, again by the floor, and reach up high, way up here. Our story time is over, so wave goodbye. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming to story time today. We'll see you next time.